This is Parker Pathways, Dr. Wynn Parker, and we have as our guest Lorraine Moray, who is an expert and whistleblower of a very important subject that has to do with contamination from uranium, and plus we're going to have other tie-ins with other contaminants with uranium in water, food, and the human body. Lauren, you have a statement in explaining your work, which I find absolutely fascinating, and perhaps you can elaborate on it. Your statement is that the real danger from deteriorated uranium nanoparticles is that they are non-specific catalysts or enzymes, and when they get into a cell, they create a disruption of the information flow. It is called Gulf-Lohr syndrome, but is really a nanoparticle toxicity. I felt that was a very profound statement, and what is your views on that, and can you start with your work to explain that statement?
Yes. I'm actually a geoscientist, so I have a very interdisciplinary background in science, which is helped me tremendously to understand and to be able to explain to people, to make science transparent so that they could understand how radioactive nanoparticles cycle and recycle through the environment and through their own systems. Now, I've had a key person helping me. His name is Marion Falk. He was a Manhattan Project scientist at the University of Chicago, and he did all the research for the Livermore nuclear weapons program on the dispersion and the rainout of basically nanoparticles of radiation from bomb testing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was key to understanding how it cycles through the physical environment. But after he retired, he's 86 now, he has spent the rest of his life understanding the microbiology and the bioenergetics, and to have someone who understands both of those vast fields, it's almost impossible to find anyone like that. And what he's taught me is what you cannot learn in any university or from your own research. It's a lifetime of his unique experiences that he's really passed on to me, so that I can warn the public around the world. And so I really have to thank him. We all have to thank him for his tremendous contribution.
Well, I hope one day that we can talk him into having depending on his energy, to be on Parker Pathways, because he would fit very nicely.
Well, you and he would sure have a party together talking about this.
Yeah, and I mean it too.
Yes. So what he taught me was about how the body functions and the cells function. And, of course, we have hundreds of millions of cells in our body, and they are organized in a syncopated dance, which makes life possible. And they are controlled and organized by information flow. And in the cell, there are a large number of small molecules which are turned on or turned off by a specific catalyst for each cell, catalyst or enzyme. And so hormones and insulin and all kinds of chemical reactions come to the cell wall, knock on the cell wall door, and if they enter, they continue carrying the information throughout the cell. And if it's all organized and coordinated, and it has to happen in the right sequence, and it has to be the right specific enzyme at each small molecule in order for the information to go go forward to the other molecules in the cell. And so what happens is depleted uranium particles, and of course this applies to other nanoparticles, including radioactive and non-radioactive particles, they behave according to the rules of quantum mechanics. They do not physically and chemically behave the way larger particles, larger than 1/10 of a micron in diameter, do. And because they have a very large surface to volume ratio, and because the electrons on the surface are much freer to react, they are extremely, extremely toxic. And each of them has an unpredictable biological effect as a non-specific enzyme or catalyst. They are inhaled. 70% of the nanoparticles that are inhaled go through the blood-brain, go through the blood-lung barrier into the blood, and they're carried in the cholesterol and the lipids right through the cell wall into the cell.
Well, the lipids are the communicator cell enzyme systems for energy for the cell.
That's right.
So that's very important. When we come back from the other end of the break, we're going to continue with this discussion and interject as to why Canada has closed off their nuclear reactors.